But the major thing to talk about this week is GPT-5. GPT-5 is here. And I think everyone will talk about this one, media and so on. OpenAI did a big launching. Yeah, in the same day when they are launching, we're also launching GPT-5 on AgenticFlow. So what you can do is, maybe let's talk about GPT-5 a bit, okay? I think because you should also read about GPT-5 on OpenAI, which is they read a lot of like beautiful thing about OpenAI, this model where they have the beautiful coding capability, and like it can make a one game in one shot. It can even doing some creative writing and doing some health related question for health bench. And is they doing the comparison between GPT-4o and 5 and so on as well. So I think there's a lot of like hype around GPT-5 that you can read about. And they are providing different version of the model of the GPT-5 with different model. But what is interesting to us is that GPT-5 is leading a lot of like benchmark. Yeah, because it's supported by OpenAI, and even like they are switching in ChatGPT, right? So I think just a few days ago, when you go into ChatGPT, actually there will be no other option. There will be only one option, which is GPT-5, and depends on the complexity of your question, it will route to the certain models. Actually, that is a way that OpenAI used to save the cost. But technically, this is also helpful because it helps us to reducing the overrating operation when we are producing this agent powered by GPT-5 to our customer. All right. So basically, there's a lot of things you can read about this. People is also ramping about that. But what I would like to feel like my personal experience about this one, it has GPT-5 is great series of model. So the first one, the most important one is the intelligence. So this is the reasoning model. So when we say about reasoning model, so it means the model is going to spend some time to think before giving you an answer. So this is actually coming from a technique that's called a chain of thought. So that is a prompt technique where you are explaining the chain of thought process so that the agent can answer and following the structured thought that you already formed in the system prompt. So it's anticipated to if uplifting the behavior is much better. And with GPT-5, because it's adopting the reasoning model, so actually it's helpful in order to bake that chain of thought in, and it is more intelligent, I would say. And second one is about the context length. So context length, why important of context length is before we have the different model. Maybe for example like the 4o or mini, it was 108K, and with GPT-5 the minimum that currently is 400K. So these 400Ks can only achieve in by latest model. For example, like the GPT 4.1 and 4.5 and above. And right now with GPT-5, they are making as a standard. So every current model of GPT-5 is actually 400,000 token. And that means that's a lot of work that you can do on this. So 400,000 token will translate to around 300,000 words. And it could be like a couple of lot of the Rings series plus Harry Potter and a lot of other books as well. So it means it's just a lot that you can keep a long running context. And the beauty of the context length here is that it is not only about how big the contexts are, but it's also about like how it can keep the quality. So OpenAI claim that the model can give a high performance even after 200 and I think 67K token or something. So it means like they are able to maintaining the like 95% of the capability even with this long. Because why is it important? Because we have like Gemini with 1 million token. We have Llama model with 10 million tokens. But they are like, they just making the number is very big. But we are seeing that as long as you are going to over 200 tokens, it's worse. But right now, OpenAI claim that the model even like is extending to 400,000 tokens. It can be really good. So I do some of my personal tests as well. So this is some of my personal tests. So for the day to day, so this is pretty good, just a little slow comparing to the previous generation. For coding, that's pretty, I would say, the model is can planning well. For executing the coding, seem not on par with Opus 4.1, but can be replaced, can be used as the secondary for Sonnet 4. Because Sonnet 4, it was 15,000 for 1 million tokens, so this is much cheaper comparing to Sonnet and Opus. So it means like if you're having the subscription for the OpenAI or Claude, and you would like to using some of the secondary models, so I think GPT-5 is a great work. And more importantly, because we are AgenticFlow, right? We are building agent. So I would say it is great to build CS agent with less amounts of thinking and mathematics or retrieval. So because this model is a little slow. This is a slow model because it's having a thinking baked inside. So even with the Nano, it is feeling much slower comparing to what Gemini Flash or other model was doing. So that is something that I believe that this is my personal take on GPT-5. And I strongly suggest that you can come and test by yourself in AgenticFlow. And I also have some benchmark as well that I believe that we can have. Yeah. Hey, yeah, so we bring, sorry, I was like going to the next one. So this is a comparison. So AgenticFlow credit now can be used by GPT-5 Nano. So what is the change? So before, for Mini was our base model, and it is like to have 2 score on the intelligence, 4 score on the speed, which Nano is much faster, 5 score on the speed, and input and output is the same. The thinking token, so we have the reasoning token in here. Yeah, so this is the model. You can check on their website and you can see the comparing to 4 Mini, the 5 Nano is outcompete them completely in terms of speed, in terms of reasoning token, in terms of windows, where it have the ability to have very long context window of 400,000 token. And the more important thing is before for Mini, you can only output around 16,000 token. And the GPT-5 Nano is bring you a lot of like benefit. The max output token is how long that you can let the model generate. Like before, when you have a very long blog post and so on, it cannot, because the GPT-4 was kind of like stop at 16K. But right now, it can uplift into 128K. So it means you can like having it writing a very long article, really long blog post in one shot without having problem. And it have one, so it have May 30, 2024 of the knowledge cutoff. So that is much helpful for you. And if you would like to have the comparison of the different model, I would suggest that you go into OpenAI and GPT-5 models compare. It will lead you into this comparison model website, where you can put between GPT-5 and O, and you can see how different of them are different together, and you can put a comparison, just like a shop that you can compare. All right, but I will not go through around this here. So I will show you how you can access to the model. Okay, so you go into AgenticFlow. In here, then you can create a new agent. Let's just create a new agent. Test GPT-5. All right, so you can see that right now the agent is starting with the 4.0 mini, but right here, if you go into Nano, you click on this one, and then you save, and then you say hi. Can you tell me about GPT-5? As you can see in here, there's a little delays on this one. So the reason why is that because GPT-5 is including the thinking token. So the thinking token currently is not displayed on the UI. So we will need to do some improvement in order to show the thinking token so that you can see the thinking immediately. So comparing to the intelligence and speed, GPT-5 is actually outcompeting the old model and context length and so on. But comparing to the speed of the model, I think it's still a little behind some other model. So for example, like if you go into Flash, for example, you use Flash, and then you new chat, and you say hi with Flash. You can see that it is kind of instantly faster, right? Can you tell me about GPT-5? I think absolutely it will not know, right? But it will answer very fast because the knowledge cut off of Gemini Flash is here. So to be honest, Gemini 2.0 Flash is still my favorite because of the speed and also the long context length, and Google did a great job on producing this model in a very good inference layer. OpenAI GPT-5 is very new. I'm still, to be honest, I'm still figuring out like what is the best use case that I can use GPT-5 for, and maybe we can explore together. And if you have finding something new that GPT-5 is extremely good at, tell me. We can make a video and tell everyone about that. All right. So apart from GPT-5 in AgenticFlow is using your credit, so it will just let you just freely to run it. You can using other like advanced model which is more expensive, like Chat and GPT-5 and so on. So for example, like GPT-5 Chat. So this model is much more expensive. Say hi. Can you help to write a poem about AgenticFlow? So the GPT-5, wow, you can see this is quite fast. Okay. Do you have understanding about it? Is in your knowledge? If it was like May 2024, then I don't think is having us in that knowledge. Okay. But what if we can add a okay. You have a website now. How about you set for? Okay. What is the problem? Let me check. Okay. Because I don't have the connection. That's why. So maybe I will delete this one. What I want to do is I just do Google search. And I will replace this one with this one. And I will take the query from the query. I will save this one. I will say AgenticFlow. Okay. Let's see if my Google search is working. Okay, it's working. So this is like, this is going to be a Google search. You can use this workflow to search on Google. I save. And I go back to my my agent, edit agent. I delete this one and I add it again. Google search. Okay. Use find out AgenticFlow and write a blog post button. What happened? Let's try the other model. Okay, so this one know how to pick up the tool search already, and I think it's going to start to writing some of this one. There's a question. Yeah, for that one, I will have to investigate what is the issue. Perhaps that is related to the latest model. So normally those error is going to happen when we having the invalid response from the model that not had been displayed well by UI. So we're still testing that. So for example, like you can see here, GPT-5 Mini is able to go and Google search and can know who is Agentic, what is AgenticFlow, and writing a blog post about that, and so on. Use Markdown, please. And that's pretty, we still have to evaluate. Okay. So the second question from this sample is how to take variable from workflow A into another workflow B. I don't think that is possible at the moment. So we have a concept that's saying like database where you can store the database information and you can write that to the database, and maybe if that database is plugged into another workflow or the agent, then you can use that. Okay. But for now, sharing the variable between workflow is kind of like long-term memory. I will share you about this in the MAS part, because in MAS we actually take the memory to the next level, and we actually can share the memory between section to section to kind of like persistent of the memories. Yeah, okay, I will come back to that later. Okay, so I just want to finish this one first. So GPT-5 is here. Please try and let me know if any question and problem. I think I will need to go back to GPT-5 chat here and see what is the problem. But this is one of the things. Okay, so this is my take. Okay, this is the first one. But the second one I would like to share with you is GPT from my feeling or testing. So GPT-5 chat is actually equivalent. Even prices higher than GPT-5 Mini. However, the output performance on benchmark, like the third-party benchmark, is pretty much the same. So there is hypothesis that OpenAI just prices is higher to make it more premium, but technically you can use a GPT-5 Mini, which is 5x cheaper on the same task, and for relatively low degree. Yeah, so this is some of the paper that I read, and people are also testing that as well. You can try and help. Maybe that is something helpful for you. But this is some insight. So all of these part is kind of like personal experience. I do not have like the backend data. I don't think that we have enough on this part. All right. Yeah. Okay. So this is on GPT-5.